I guess I like games starring animals because I have another game that stars an animal. And that game is Spirit of the North. The debut title of Infuse Studio, Spirit of the North is an adventure game about a fox who dies and then comes back to life with superpowers. Wait a minute. Doesn't this sound a lot like Journey? But Journey this isn't, as Spirit of the North released 2 mostly mixed reviews. But what could be wrong about a simple adventure game? Well, let's pop in the disc and see what's up. Huh. Only 3 gigabytes. Either this game is really small or the compression in this game is very good. Well, the game's done copying, so let's find out. I gotta say, even though my expectations aren't very high, at least the game looks pretty. Too bad the level geometry pops in and out of existence, distracting from the game's pretty visuals. Oh, that geometry just spawned. Oh, there's another one. Oh, and another one. If only the geometry pop-in was the only problem in this game. But the frame rate also likes to take very inconsistent dumps. The original version of the game tries to hit 30 frames a second, and the Switch version does actually manage to do it most of the time. But the PS4 version, oh god, the PS4 version, it might achieve 30 frames a second like 60% of the time. It might look better than the Switch, but at what cost? Well, Infuse Studio dropped the ball on Chapter 7. This chapter lags on both versions, but it is so much worse on the PlayStation 4. It's like I'm playing Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2. So I guess I answered my own question there. Who knew? There's also one other thing I'd like to mention. The controls. Our Foxy friend controls like you're driving a car. And because of the controls, he likes to do this. This jump really shouldn't be that hard, but that's sluggish physics for you. And that is Spirit of the North. Or is it? Months after the Switch version's release, Infuse Studio remastered the game for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. However, only the PS5 version actually got a physical edition, proving that Microslop hates physical media in the 2020s. But the enhanced version does actually offer a massive improvement over the 8th generation counterparts. For example, the frame rate manages to stay at a silky smooth 60 frames a second all the way through, and the visual pop-in is better? Well, despite that, the physics and the controls weren't fixed. It still feels like I'm wading through the tar that appears halfway into the game. Also, this version actually had me reloading a previous save because I got soft-locked. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't you dare backtrack to look for collectibles. And that is it for Spirit of the North. For real this time. I think this game actually has some pretty good potential. But it's just not there. This game really could have used a little bit more polishing, especially on the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. Also, there really isn't that much content. It took me between 2 to 4 hours to beat. My shortest attempt actually had me nearly 100%ing the game. If you really want to play an adventure game with some real emotional depth to it, play Journey instead. It is way better and it won't put you to sleep. And yet, despite the game's mixed reviews, Infuse Studio released a sequel. Why? Yes, Spirit of the North 2 exists. Released in 2025 for the PS5 and, without a physical edition, Xbox Series X, Spirit of the North attempts to expand on its sequel while remaining true to the roots of its predecessor. Or rather, the Spirit of the North 2 is what happens when Breath of the Wild and Shadow of the Colossus had a baby. And then that baby grew up hanging around the shady Dark Souls crowd. Hey, if you're gonna steal, why not steal from the best? Let's see what this amalgamation of influences give us. Before we start, I've switched the game to performance mode to give it the best chance of running smoothly. And despite these precautions, it still manages to drop in frames. On your way to fight the game's third boss, the Ram, you'll encounter frequent storms. It's during these storms that the game will randomly just lag for no real reason. Thor, who's the guy or gal that you are getting it on with? Could you please keep it down a little bit? I'm trying to relax here. But you know what actually did catch my attention? Invisible walls. There's literally one right at the start of the game. I actually need to go in there to progress. Let me in, god damn it! What the how did I get... Oh, never mind. At least I'm actually in this building. Also, I ran into another invisible wall in this early temple. At the very least, this game is actually protecting me from these spikes, so good job, game. But because you did one good thing doesn't mean I'm going to let you off the hook for an issue that was also in the first game. Geometry Poppin'. Is the Unreal Engine really that unstable enough that it can't load some geometry correctly? What is this? Oh great, I'm stuck in a wall. The geometry is that fucked. Come on. Come on. Ah, there we go. Also, I discovered this. Maybe the ancients redecorated before they vanished. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to blink. My eyes feel so much better. Oh wait! That's the game messing up. Silly me. And that should be it, right? Well, not exactly. Take a listen. Not convinced? How about one more? Maybe it's my disc, but I swear there should be some audio here. Okay, now we're done with this odyssey of a game. I'm not gonna lie to you, I think this is so much worse than the first game. I guess this is what happens when you go open world. You miss a few small things that ultimately add up to create a much bigger problem, which is a very unpolished mess. I didn't even mention how bloated this game feels. Now, the playtimes will vary depending on skill level, but my personal playtime was 14 hours! Without that extra work of collecting wisps, or maybe adding a few more teleporters into the game could have been a much tighter 8 hours. But if you can't tell, I really don't recommend playing this game. You're better off playing the games that this really wants to be. It's a shame, really. Spirit of the North 2 also has a lot of potential to be good. But I guess this is just a curse that this series has.